Welcome to Audio Tales AI, your destination for captivating stories. Today, we unveil a tale filled with unexpected and life-changing decisions. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and let's dive in.
I never thought I'd be the guy writing one of these stories, but here I am. So buckle up and let's dive into how I spray-painted my wife's car in a hotel parking lot. My wife Morgan and I had been married for 6 years. We were high school sweethearts and married right after college. She worked as a server at a restaurant while I held a steady job as an IT technician. Our life was pretty simple and we were happy, or so I thought. Over the past few months, Morgan started picking up evening shifts at the restaurant. She usually worked day shifts, so I didn't think much of it at first. After all, extra money is always good, right? However, something just didn't sit right with me. She would come home late, exhausted, and I could see the strain it was putting on her relationship. She claimed she was just too tired to be intimate, but then this even started happening on days when she wasn't working an evening shift. One day, as I was doing some laundry, I stumbled upon one of her server order sheets. A confirmation number was scribbled at the top. Curiosity got the better of me, so I Googled it, and it turned out to be a hotel confirmation number. My heart sank. I checked the format, and it was for a hotel just a stone's throw away from her workplace. So I did what any other man would do in a situation like this. I decided to call the hotel. I pretended to be a guy named Morgan using my wife's name as my own, claiming that my credit card had been used without my permission to book a room. I demanded to know who was using my card and if there were any more reservations. The receptionist, trying to be helpful and calm me down, complied and gave me all the information I needed, including a new reservation made for Tuesday evening the very next day. The realization that this wasn't just some fluke and that this was really going on made me a mixture of furious and sick. Angry and extremely sad. It didn't make any sense. I make great money, have been a very stable partner, and not to brag, but I am a good giver in bed. In other words, I make sure she loses her mind every time, in a good way. So why would she be seeking something outside of our marriage? What an idiot. So as soon as Morgan left for her evening shift the following day, I sprang into action. I couldn't believe I was about to do this, but I was fueled by anger and betrayal. I crammed all of her clothes, toiletries, and other belongings into garbage bags, loaded them into my truck, and drove to the hotel. When I arrived, I spotted her car in the parking lot. My hands were shaking, but I was determined to go through with my plan. I used the second set of keys to open her car and crammed all of her stuff inside. It was a tight fit, but I managed to get everything in there. Now for the real kicker, I had picked up a can of bright orange spray paint the day before, and I was ready to leave my mark. My heart was pounding as I sprayed, "I am a cheating whore," on all sides of her car. It felt both terrifying and liberating at the same time. At first, I felt like a complete trashy criminal. However, with each swipe and mark I left, I was getting huge bursts of adrenaline. Once my masterpiece was complete, I took pictures of my handiwork, knowing I would need evidence for the aftermath. With my task complete, I drove home feeling a mixture of relief and sadness. I knew that our marriage was over, but I couldn't help but mourn the life we had built together. Once I got home, I changed the locks on our house, ensuring that Morgan couldn't just waltz back in when she discovered what I had done. Now, for the cherry on top, I posted the pictures of her spray-painted car on Facebook and tagged her in them. I made sure to get pics that showed the hotel sign in the restaurant in the background, so there would be no doubt as to the authenticity of what was going on. I knew it was a petty move, but I wanted her friends and family to know what she had done. I wanted her to face the consequences of her actions. It wasn't fair that we would end up divorced and she could go and say whatever she wanted to anyone and never have to fess up as to what really happened. She was just going to have to face the consequences of her actions and deal with life the hard way, like the rest of us. With that done, I took some NyQuil and went to sleep, knowing that the next day would be a whirlwind of emotions and chaos. I woke up the next morning, groggy from the NyQuil, but feeling strangely calm. I checked my phone and saw a barrage of missed calls and texts from Morgan. She was begging me to talk to her to let her explain, but I didn't want to hear it. I had all the proof I needed, and there was no point in dragging this out any further. I made myself some coffee and checked the footage from our door camera. Sure enough, Morgan had tried to get into the house in the early hours of the morning. She banged on the door pleading for me to open up, but I never budged. I knew that any conversation we had would only lead to more heartache, and I was done with that. The following week was a blur of meetings with my lawyer, calls from friends and family, and endless tears. I filed for divorce, and Morgan didn't contest it. She knew she had messed up, and she didn't bother trying to fight for our marriage. It was a painful process, but it was necessary for both of us to move on. So there you have it. like crazy, painful, and adrenaline-filled experience of spray painting my wife's car and packing all her belongings in it. I hope that sharing my story can help others who might be going through a similar situation. Just remember that you deserve to be treated with respect, and sometimes you have to make a bold statement to ensure that you get it. And to Morgan, if you ever read this, I don't hate you, but I don't think I can ever forgive you either. I hope that you learn from your mistakes and find happiness in the future. As for me, I'm ready to start a new chapter in my life, one that doesn't involve lies, betrayal, or spray paint. I am not sure that cheating will ever stop, but perhaps with more and more stories like this going public, people will start thinking twice about cheating and do the more honorable thing. That is to end their relationship as peacefully as possible without betrayal, and then work on themselves before finding another relationship. Who am I kidding, though?
Thank you for tuning in to Audio Tales AI. If you enjoyed today's story, remember to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support keeps these stories coming. Until next time, remember, love, trust, and understanding are the foundation of a great relationship. But betrayal, lust, and deception make for the best YouTube videos.